Hello everyone, I'm Natalie Parent. I'm going to present a business overview for the Dram Shop. We're going to take a look at year-over-year growth, some trends, and see how they're doing as of November 2023. To start, we took a look at the historical data along with the trends from this year, and we found that the Dram Shop has made some big comebacks post-pandemic, and the sales are soaring in 2023. To set up a basic outline of what we're going to cover in this presentation, we are going to take a look at the growth that the Dram Shop experiences year over year since the inception. From there, we're going to move into the stability of the transactions post-pandemic. Next, we'll demonstrate the profit margin boost that materializes after the profit increase is instituted. And then from there, we'll move into the future and see what 2023 may have in store for the Dram Shop. At the very end, we'll take a look at the Dram Shop's busiest hours to help drive smart staffing techniques. First on our agenda is to take a look at the Dram Shop overall as a whole and see how they've been doing year over year. This chart shows the growth year over year from 2016 to 2023 as a percentage. For 2015, we averaged the months and we extrapolated to get an entire year so that we can compare 2016 to 2015, and we came up with 10% estimated growth rate in 2016. You can see the Dram Shop steps up a little, steps down a little, but in 2019, when the Dram Shop Central opens, there's a huge increase, 35%. Of course, pandemic hits, we dropped during COVID, and then post-COVID, there is a steady stairs up of increase year over year. The post-pandemic increase averages 15%. The all-time year-over-year growth rate is 10%. We compared this to industry standards for breweries and craft artisan beers at 8%. And we show that the Dram Shop is well over, especially post-pandemic at 15% year over year, although all-time at 10% is still better than industry standard. So now we'll go ahead and take a look at the transaction amount, the average transaction amount, and see how it has done post-pandemic. This chart highlights the average transaction amount over time for both locations. We can look at each location and see that prior to the pandemic, the lines are fairly flat, and then we have a spike and some turbulence throughout the pandemic. We think the pandemic resulted in fewer but higher amount of transactions, likely due to delivery or takeout of a big order, but orders that happened less frequently. Since the pandemic, we can take a look at 2023 and see that both central and front stabilize and kind of come to a happy middle ground. It sits roughly right at $20, and the average amount for Front Street per transaction is 21% higher than pre-pandemic, and Central's is 25% higher than pre-pandemic transaction rates. Let's go ahead and take a look at gross profit margins next. If we study this slide, we can see that the sum of gross profit has increased year over year since inception. If we look at 2022 and compare it to 2023, we are already exceeding the gross profit for 2022. And then if we take a look at the dark blue line on top, our projected 2023 gross profit margin at the end is 34% higher than 2022. This is due to rising sales and also the price increase that was instituted in 2022. Let's go ahead and take a journey now into month by month data to see how 2022 and 2023 compare. Monthly net sales for 2023 have blown 2022 net sales out of the water. If we look down at this chart, take notice that the teal bars represent 2023 monthly net sales data. Then we compare that to this dark blue navy line, which is the 2022 monthly net sales. You'll notice that month over month, 2023 is performing better than 2022. In fact, on average, this is $13,000 a month more, or roughly 14% higher month over month. If we take a look historically, April was the best performing month in 2022. It's a little hard to tell just looking at this line. However, it is the highest performing month in 2022. In 2023, April is also the highest performing month thus far, but we wanted to take a look at the remaining months and project what we think the net sales will be. So we took the average difference between 2023 and 2022 net sales and added it to November 2022 and December 2022 sales to get November and December 2023 sales. And our forecast shows that December 2023 should be the biggest month in Dram Shop history with a net sales of $117,000. So where does a Dram Shop go from here? With growth in gross profit margin and increase in total monthly sales, we wanted to gain some insight for the Dram Shop to help better operate their business in the future as they grow. To do that, we took a look at the total hourly sales volume by hour during the opening hours for both Dram Shops from 2021 to 2023. The charts below represent the Dram Shop Central on the Dram Shop Front on bottom and the Dram Shop Central on top. And the length of the line as well as the intensity of the color represent the amount of sales volume happening by that hour. So for example, during 1 p.m. or 10 p.m. opening and closing hours, the lines are really faint and short. This shows that not a lot is happening during these hours. And then the long dark blue lines show more volume and more intensity during the hours of 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. This is true for both shops. Therefore, we suggest to the Dram Shop to make sure they are adequately staffed during these hours, as these are the busiest hours, and we want to make sure the customers are happy and great customer service is provided to ensure continued growth year over year. With that, I'd like to thank you for going through this business overview of the Dram Shop for 2023 with me. And we look forward to the continued success for the Dram Shop year over year in the future.